Endocrine system regulates the functions of reproductive system. In this video, we are going to see that how the hormones of hypothalamus, pituitary gland and the testes regulates the male reproduction. Hey everyone, welcome back to HM Learnings. I am Harshita, the creator of HM Learnings, where students come to clear their concept and to get the study material. Make sure that you have subscribed my channel. You can also follow HM Learnings on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for daily updates. We have also started uploading all our content on website known as SlideShare. You can easily download and clip our slides from that website. I will also share the link of this video slides in the description box. So you will just need to click on that link and you will be on the SlideShare. So we will start our today's video, that is about the hormonal regulation of male reproduction and testosterone. So in this video we are going to see that how the hormones, or you can say the endocrine system, hormones which are secreted by the glands at the different levels, they are regulating the function of the reproduction. So they basically have two functions. They are regulating the production of the male gamete, that is the sperm, and regulating the levels of the secretion of testosterone, or you can say specifically androgens. More commonly it is the androgen. So this is showing you, this diagram is showing you that how it is happening. So if you haven't know the basic of this, I have already made a video on the hypothalamic pituitary axis. It actually explains the layout of this video. So if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that video. As well as another term which is used in this video is a negative feedback loop. So that for that also I have made a video on the homeostasis. In that I have discussed about the negative feedback mechanism. So both these two videos are actually required to understand the concept. So if you are not sure about your concept, please go and watch that video. So we will start now. So here you can see that the hypothalamus and as well as you can say the CNS. CNS means here the conscious mind, you can say. So the hypothalamus as well as the CNS, they both have an effect on the reproduction. So CNS through the hypothalamus has effect on the reproductive system, you can say that. So the arcuate nucleus in the hypothalamus, it is secreting the gonadotropin releasing hormone from the arcuate nucleus, and this GnRH is basically released in the portal circulation, and that portal circulation reaches the anterior pituitary. So this GnRH is actually released in a pulsatile manner. Pulsatile manner means what? It means that the secretion increases, then it will decrease. There is no continuous secretion of the GnRH at the puberty. At the puberty, there is pulsatile secretion of the GnRH, and this pulsatile secretion of the GnRH will act on the gonadotropes present in the anterior pituitary. Now, the gonadotropes in the anterior pituitary, which get stimulated by the action of GnRH, they will start forming the luteinizing hormone and the FSH, that is a follicle stimulating hormone. GnRH acts by the means of G protein coupled receptor, which is linked to phospholipase C, and it will increase the level of the DAG and the IP3. So IP3 will be synthesis of the LH and the FSH. Now this LH will be released in the circulation, and through the circulation it will reach the testis. So in the testis it will act on the Leydig cells. So it will act on the Leydig cell by the G protein coupled receptor, which is linked to I would say adenyl cyclase again, and with the activation of the protein kinase A, it will cause the synthesis of the testosterone or the androgen. So it will increase the synthesis of the enzymes which are involved in the synthesis of the testosterone or the androgen. Like the side chain cleavage is a key enzyme which is important for the steroid hormone synthesis from the cholesterol. Apart from that, the other enzymes like 5-alpha reductase is also being synthesized. So after that, what will happen? The androgen will act on the Sertoli cell as well. Okay, and the Sertoli cell, here you can see the FSH come and acts on the Sertoli cell. The Sertoli cell, in response to that, do what? It will secrete the androgen binding protein. It will act on the estrogen. It will actually do the erythromization, that is the testosterone which is available to it by the action of the aromatase enzyme. It is converted into the estrogen. Sertoli cell actually has ability to synthesize the aromatase enzyme in response to FSH, and it has role in the nourishing the germ cells as well. So it has a role in the spermatogenesis. It secretes inhibin. Okay, so now androgen does what? The androgen or the testosterone, it has a negative feedback response on the pituitary gland as well as on the hypothalamus. So it inhibits the secretion of the LH and the FSH from the pituitary and the GnRH from the hypothalamus. Here the Sertoli cell secretes the inhibin. So inhibin is going to inhibit the release of the FSH from the anterior pituitary. So this is called as a negative feedback loop, and this is the hypothalamic pituitary testicular axis, and this axis has a role in deciding that what amount of the hormone, what amount of the androgen or the testosterone will be released. Okay, so now why there is pulsatile secretion of GnRH? I have used the word pulsatile, not continuous. So when there is a continuous secretion of GnRH, what will happen? Because of that, the receptors of the GnRH which are present on the gonadotropes, they get down regulated, as well as what happens that there is receptor internalization, means there will be degradation of the receptors, and the number of the receptors which are present on the cell membrane will be get reduced. So even though there is continuous secretion of the GnRH, the gonadotropes will not respond to it by the continuous secretion of LH and FSH, because the receptors of the GnRH on the cell membrane, they are reduced. But in response to pulsatile secretion, what will happen? These receptors will return to the cell membrane, and also there is de novo synthesis of these receptors. Okay, so when there is a pulsatile secretion, what will happen? This receptors doesn't get down regulated, this receptors doesn't get internalized. Okay, and that is why the continuous secretion is not good. The pulsatile secretion is required for the proper male reproductive system. Now, more interestingly, we are more interested to know more about the testosterone, because it is the play of testosterone. So it is a male sex hormone which is produced by the Leydig cells, and it is a steroid hormone. So we know that the precursor is cholesterol. So these are the steps of the synthesis of the testosterone. It is not important for remember each and every step as an undergraduate, but if you are a postgraduate, it is required. As an undergraduate, you have to remember that the cholesterol is a precursor for all the steroid hormones, and the cholesterol is converted into the common precursor of all the steroid hormone, which is called as a pregnenolone, and this step is actually the rate limiting step of synthesis of all the steroid hormones, and the step is catalyzed by the key enzyme called as a side chain cleavage. So what happens that the LH hormone actually increasing the synthesis of this side chain cleavage in order to increase the synthesis of the testosterone. Okay, and it will also increase the uptake of the cholesterol by increasing the expression of the transporters that are involved in the transport of cholesterol. Okay, like the steroid transporter. Okay, then there is star also. These are the transporters. Okay, now what is the function of testosterone? Definitely you will say that it has a function of spermatogenesis. Yes, but what specifically in spermatogenesis? We know that it has a negative feedback inhibition role. It inhibits the release of the GnRH at the hypothalamic level and the release of the LH hormone at the pituitary level. Apart from that, it has a role in the appearance of secondary sex characteristics. It has a role on anabolic effect. It has a role during the meiosis requires the presence of the testosterone, okay, during the spermatocytogenesis. So if you don't know this term, please go and watch the video on the spermatogenesis. Maintenance of blood testis barrier, BTB. So BTB is very much required for what? For the protection of the germ cells from the environment, from the toxic which could be present in the circulation. And you could say that the germ cells, or you can say the spermatids or the spermatocytes which are produced as a result of meiosis, they should not come in the contact of the blood, okay, of the circulation, because that could trigger the immunogenic response that could actually lead to the formation of the antibodies in the blood, okay. So to protect them to actually doesn't lead to autoimmune disorder, that is why the blood testis barrier should be there, so that the post-meiotic sperms, they don't come in exposure to the circulation, because that could lead to the autoimmune disorder and the male infertility, okay. Then the Sertoli spermatid adhesion. So spermatid with adhesion with the Sertoli is required for its maturation, and what happens is that there is immature release of the spermatids. The spermatids are not matured enough, before that they are released, okay. So that is why the functions of the testosterone, these are the functions of the testosterone, okay. So in the absence of the Sertoli in the absence of the testosterone, this adhesion is not proper. It would lead to the release of the immature spermatids. This is a list of secondary sex characteristics. This table is taken from the Ganon, okay. So in this table they are saying that the external genitalia, they will be increased in the penis length and the width. There is pigmentation also of this scrotum. Internal genitalia on the glands, they will increase in the size and their secretions get increased. Voice, the cracking of the voice is seen. Hair growth, beard growth, okay, and the hairs on the pubic area also start growing. Axillary hairs on the chest, around the anus. General body hair increases. Mental, the person becomes more aggressive, active in the attitude. There is appearance of libido also. Then the body conformation, shoulder gets broader, muscle enlarged. Skin, the sebaceous gland secretion gets thickened, and the person gets predisposing to acne, okay. Mechanism of action of testosterone. Testosterone is a steroid hormone. So what will happen? It can cross a cell membrane. And it can bind to the nuclear receptor, which is the androgen receptor, and after that there will be the homodimerization of the androgen receptor. That means another androgen receptor will come and form a couple with it. This process is called as a homodimerization. Then it will act as a transcription factor, and it will lead to the transcription of those proteins which are exerting the function of testosterone, okay. Metabolism. Most of the testosterone in the liver gets converted into the 17 ketosteroids, and in the prostate to DHT, dihydrotestosterone, and after that these are excreted in the urine and the feces as a water soluble conjugates of sulfuric acid or the gluconic acid. Only 2% of the testosterone is secreted in the free form without any metabolism in the urine. So with this, we are at the end of this video. If you like this video, please like, share and comment. This was a short video on the hormonal regulation of the male reproduction, or you can say the spermatogenesis. Please subscribe to our channel. Do let me in the comment section any video you want me to do for you. And don't forget to check our slides for this video in the slide share. And till then, keep learning.